You don't.
Not about to let my little bro f the money out.
I know that.
I love him. And
I know that.
Keep this back. Today gonna give him like 200, 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole plan.
NBA YoungBoy just blew the lid off Birdman's whole game, and it's wild. Turns out, the man who acted like a father figure was actually running a slick setup behind the scenes. He was quietly taking from YoungBoy while pretending to guide him, and now the truth is spilling out for everyone to see. This ain't just some small drama. This might go down as one of the most heartbreaking exposés in hip-hop history. Behind that smooth mentor image, Birdman was allegedly pulling strings and playing the long game. What looked like loyalty turned out to be manipulation, and it's left fans stunned. The story of how their bond fell apart is darker than anyone could have guessed, and it's got the whole industry talking loud. Now listen, this ain't your average rapper beef. We're talking about real betrayal, shady deals, and a young artist finally breaking his silence. NBA. YoungBoy's been holding this in for years, and when he finally spoke out, the internet exploded. His new track, Tears of War, got people fired up after he allegedly called out Birdman for using him. And trust me, the clues are everywhere. But we're not here for gossip. We're breaking down the facts. Let's rewind to June 9th, 2024, the day that flipped everything. YoungBoy was stuck on house arrest in Utah, facing serious federal heat when he dropped a 6-minute confession track that shook hip-hop to its core. That moment changed everything, and the truth he revealed still has people in disbelief. People thought this was just another rap beef. A few diss tracks, some shady tweets, and that's it. But nah, this mess cuts way deeper. This ain't about clout or petty drama. It's about a young artist who looked up to someone like a father, only to realize the man he trusted was playing him the whole time. And here's where it really gets spicy. Birdman's been accused of pulling this same slick move before, and guess who the biggest victim was? Lil Wayne. Back around 2018, NBA. YoungBoy was untouchable in the rap game. Young, wild, and on fire. Every drop he released was breaking numbers, but at the same time, he couldn't stay out of trouble. Case after case had Atlantic Records stressed out. They didn't know whether to push him or drop him, cause yeah, he was a hit maker, but he was also a huge risk. Then out of nowhere, Birdman came sliding in like some kind of guardian angel. And if you know the game, you know when Birdman, the man who built Cash Money Records into a billion-dollar empire, shows up at your door, it feels like a dream come true. But what YoungBoy didn't realize was that this blessing came with strings attached. Birdman wasn't just offering a record deal. He was selling the dream of family, mentorship, and loyalty that never fades. He had the perfect pitch too. He turned Lil Wayne from a kid out the projects into a legend. He helped Drake become a worldwide name. He made Nicki Minaj the queen of rap. So when he told YoungBoy he could do the same for him, how could he say no? When Birdman told YoungBoy, "You're gonna be the biggest thing in hip-hop," it didn't sound like empty talk. It felt like a prophecy. This was coming from a man with decades of success behind him. For a kid from Baton Rouge who had seen more pain and chaos than most adults ever will, Birdman's offer felt like a lifeline. YoungBoy had lost close friends, survived shootings, and was fighting to make it in an industry that'll eat you alive without real guidance. So when Birdman stepped in, calling himself a father figure, promising protection, knowledge, and loyalty, YoungBoy believed every word. Their first collab, We Poppin', had real chemistry. And when they announced their joint project from the Bayou in 2018, it was like a Louisiana dream come true. The OG passing the torch to the new generation. That's how it looked. Birdman was out there shouting YoungBoy's name from the rooftops. He called him the future of rap and told everyone he was gonna help him dodge the industry traps that destroy young artists. It looked like real love, real mentorship. But behind the scenes, something wasn't sitting right. Because while Birdman was showing all that family energy in public, the money, the deals, the loyalty, none of it was lining up. And the craziest part, Lil Wayne had already tried to warn him. On his 2020 track Multiple Flows, Wayne dropped a bar that should have set off alarms. He basically told YoungBoy to watch out for an old head moving shady. That wasn't just rap talk. That was a real one sending a message, trying to save another young king from falling into the same trap. Lil Wayne's warning wasn't just some random lyric. It came from experience, from the same trap that nearly wrecked his own career. And if you don't fully get how deep that warning runs, let's break it down. The story between Lil Wayne and Birdman followed almost the exact same script. It all began with love, mentorship, and the dream of building an empire together. Wayne looked at Birdman like a real father. They even had matching tattoos, showing that bond to the world. Birdman treated Wayne's kids like his own grandkids. It looked like real family love. But when it came time for Wayne to finally collect what he'd earned, that so-called father-son relationship took a sharp turn. Wayne had to sue Birdman and Cash Money Records for a jaw-dropping $51 million in unpaid royalties. That lawsuit cracked everything wide open. It showed years of shady money moves, delayed album drops, and broken promises. The man Wayne once called Pops had allegedly been using emotions to stay in control while keeping millions that should have gone straight to the artist who helped build his whole empire. It was betrayal, plain and simple. And here's the thing, this ain't just about one artist getting played. What we're seeing looks like a pattern, a whole system built to take advantage of young stars hungry for success. Birdman's playbook is simple but cold. Find young talent with real potential, offer them mentorship and family vibes when they're most vulnerable, reel them in emotionally, and boom, full control while the money keeps flowing one way. Birdman knew exactly how to keep control, by using that emotional bond to blur the money lines and keep everything in his favor. The street's been whispering about this same pattern for years, but nobody wanted to believe it. Why? Because Birdman's track record looked too good. He built superstars left and right. But the real question is, at what cost? And who's actually walking away with the biggest bag from all those family deals? When From the Bayou finally dropped in December 2021, after all those delays, real fans could feel something wasn't right. The project looked like a joint album on paper, but once you hit play, it sounded way more like a straight-up YoungBoy solo tape with Birdman's name just stamped on it. Birdman barely showed up on the songs, but guess what? His name was all over the credits, which meant that every stream, every sale, was putting money in his pocket off YoungBoy's grind. And it doesn't stop there. The backstory behind how Birdman even got YoungBoy on his side is wild. According to insiders, Birdman basically scooped YoungBoy from Atlantic Records for free. Yup, free. Michael Kaiser, an executive over at Atlantic, supposedly handed him over when YoungBoy was facing those heavy federal charges. Atlantic thought his career was done. They figured he was a lost cause, so they cut him loose, no questions asked. But Birdman, he saw opportunity written all over it. In a chat with DJ Academics, Birdman straight up bragged that he would have paid 10 to 20 million for YoungBoy. But Atlantic just gave him away because, as he put it, they was tired of him. That's some cold-blooded business right there. Imagine being written off like that while someone else cashes in big time.
You don't not about to let my little bro the money out.
I know that.
I love him.
I know that.
Keep this back. Today gonna give him like 200, 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole plan.
While Birdman was out here telling YoungBoy he loved him like a son, behind closed doors, he was celebrating getting him for free, like he just scored some clearance deal at a bargain store. That's wild. Real talk, that's not how you speak about family. That's straight up business talk. And that's when the truth started clicking for YoungBoy. He wasn't a son in Birdman's eyes. He was an asset, a moneymaker, a move on the chessboard. By the time 2022 and 2023 rolled around, YoungBoy began to see through the smooth talk and fake loyalty. All those promises that once sounded like love and mentorship started to feel empty. The father figure, who once claimed he'd protect him no matter what, suddenly felt like just another manipulator in disguise. And the hardest part? The unconditional support that kept YoungBoy loyal turned out to be anything but unconditional. For people who really know the culture, this kind of betrayal hits deeper than any street beef ever could. This wasn't about money, contracts, or territory. This was about trust, loyalty, and real connection. YoungBoy had opened up his heart to someone he truly believed cared for him, only to realize he was just another pawn in a bigger game. Every move, every promise, every "I got you," it all started looking like strategy, not love. By April 2024, everything came crashing down. The feds raided YoungBoy's house in Utah, and at that moment, it was clear. The so-called family that was supposed to protect him wasn't standing anywhere near him. When YoungBoy got hit with those heavy charges, the one person who was supposed to have his back, Birdman, was suddenly nowhere to be found, gone when it really mattered most. That's when YoungBoy poured his whole heart into a track called Tears of War. It was the last song he recorded before his arrest, and man, it had the whole internet spinning. The raw emotion, the pain, the truth. It was all right there in his voice. This wasn't your usual diss track filled with tough bars and empty threats. This was something deeper. It was pain on wax. Every verse dripped with disappointment and heartbreak. When YoungBoy rapped about how Stunna never really loved him and how he should have listened to Carter, Lil Wayne, you could feel the hurt in every line. That bar hit hard because it was more than just lyrics. It was YoungBoy finally admitting he'd been outplayed by a veteran who'd mastered this game for years. For the first time, he publicly acknowledged that Wayne had tried to save him from this exact situation, but he didn't want to believe it back then. He was too caught up in the promises, the fame, the loyalty talk to notice what was really happening behind the curtain and in the streets. Admitting that you got played or that you were wrong, that takes serious guts. In a world where showing emotion can get you labeled as soft, YoungBoy showing that kind of honesty hit different. Tears of War wasn't just a song, it was a confession. It exposed how Birdman had allegedly dangled big money deals in front of YoungBoy, promising him the world but never coming through. It even showed how Birdman allegedly crossed personal lines, stepping too deep into YoungBoy's life and using that emotional bond to keep control. That track wasn't just music. It was a warning to every young artist in the game. Tears of War didn't just tell a story, it exposed a cycle. It painted Birdman as someone using his power, status, and reputation to take advantage of a younger artist. The same kind of playbook Lil Wayne had dealt with years before. The pattern was way too familiar, and fans could see it clear as day. But what really had everyone talking was Birdman's response. Or better yet, his silence. Instead of firing back with the typical tough talk and diss tracks like most rappers would, Birdman stayed completely quiet, not a word. And honestly, that silence said everything. Either those accusations hit too close to home, or Birdman knew that clapping back would only make the situation blow up even more. But let's be real, this whole situation goes way beyond just Birdman and YoungBoy. What we're seeing here is a reflection of how the music industry really moves behind closed doors. Every day, young artists, especially ones coming from tough backgrounds, fall into the same trap. These veterans know exactly what to say and how to play their role to earn trust. The formula never changes. Find a hungry, talented artist who's struggling, promise them money, mentorship, and loyalty. Make them feel like family, and once that trust is locked in, flip it. Suddenly, all the deals, all the rights, all the profits lean one way, straight into the hands of the one in control. For people who don't follow the industry's darker side, this might sound extreme, but those who know, they'll tell you this kind of exploitation happens way more often than anyone wants to admit. It's the hidden rule of the game, and most never see it until it's too late. The music industry's been running this same dirty game for decades, built on taking advantage of artists who don't fully understand the business. The only difference now is that social media changed the rules. Platforms like YouTube and Instagram give artists the power to speak directly to their fans and pull back the curtain on what's really happening behind the scenes. And when YoungBoy decided to call out Birdman publicly, it shook the whole culture. That moment wasn't just about one artist standing up for himself. It was a warning shot to every young artist out there walking into the same kind of trap. It showed how important it is to keep real ones in your corner. People who can see the game being played even when you can't. Because when you're deep in it, loyalty and manipulation can start to look the same. But now the question that's echoing through the industry is, how many artists has Birdman really pulled this move on? We know about Lil Wayne, we know about YoungBoy, but how many more are still silent? How many young talents got caught up, drained dry, and left behind before they even had a chance to shine? At the heart of it, this isn't just about one shady business deal. It's about power, loyalty, and the brutal price young artists pay when they trust the wrong people. It's about how the industry keeps hiding exploitation behind nice words like family and mentorship. But here's the twist no one saw coming. By August 2025, after all the chaos, the lawsuits, the betrayal, and the public callouts, YoungBoy and Birdman somehow reconciled. Nobody expected that move, and it left everyone wondering what really went down behind closed doors. So yeah, they actually squashed the beef. By late 2025, Birdman and YoungBoy were seen side by side again, with Birdman even joining him on the Make America Slime Again tour. Some fans saw it as a powerful comeback, a story of forgiveness, growth, and redemption. But others weren't buying it. They saw it as the same trap reopening. YoungBoy walking right back into the cycle that had already burned him once. The reunion raised a whole bunch of questions that nobody could ignore. Did Birdman really change his ways this time? Or did he just slide back in with that smooth-talking charm he's famous for? Was this a real second chance at rebuilding trust? Or was history about to spin right back around again? One thing's for sure, Tears of War left a permanent mark on hip-hop. That track didn't just call out one man, it exposed an entire system, a blueprint for how young artists get manipulated by people they believe in. Whether this new piece between Birdman and YoungBoy lasts or not, the truth is already out there, loud, raw, and undeniable. And no matter how many handshakes or public smiles follow, that truth can't be erased. So now the real question is, what happens next? Will other artists start stepping up and speaking their truth about what really goes on behind those record label doors? Will the industry finally start holding its power players accountable for how they treat young talent? Or is this just going to be another cautionary tale, one that fades away until the next artist gets played the same way? What do you think about YoungBoy's situation and Birdman's long-running pattern? Was that reconciliation real love and growth, or just another setup waiting to happen? Could YoungBoy be walking right back into heartbreak? Let's be honest, the line between loyalty and manipulation in this game gets thinner every day. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what the people think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on those notifications, because we're not slowing down anytime soon. We're bringing the real stories behind the headlines, the ones the industry doesn't want you to hear. The culture deserves the truth, and we're here to keep shining that light. Stay solid, stay sharp, and remember, not everyone who calls you family is really riding for you. Sometimes the ones closest to you are the ones setting you up the worst. That's the real lesson right here. Protect your peace and your paper.